broken into 1,000,000 shards, forcing its steam-driven inhabitants into space. Hard-working folks known as cowbutts survive by farming moisture and mining what little land is left, constantly dealing with all sorts of space jerks. There are the gangs of scrap metal meanies roaming about, preying on the weak and completely disregarding basic manners. Then there are the diesel-driven royalists, a bunch of oppressive bullies, abusing their power and bleeding the cowbutts dry. To top it all off, there are rumors of something far more dangerous stirring in the depth of space, waking from its age-long slumber. These are the descendants of a shattered planet, and this, my distinguished gentlemots, is the new SteamWorld.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Rames Games. With that beautiful intro, we are taking a look at SteamWorld Heist. SteamWorld Heist is from the developers and publishers Image and Form. The game is currently $14.99, which is 25% off until July 4th for the Steam Summer Sale. Regular price is $19.99. The description says, command a steam-driven pirate crew in a series of epic tactical shootouts inspired by classics like XCOM and Worms. SteamWorld Heist is a turn-based strategy with a twist. You manually aim the guns of your robots, allowing for insane skill shots and bullet-bouncing action. As a captain, you will board, loot, and shoot your way through enemy spaceships, overcome the challenges in the vast frontier by upgrading your recruits with unique abilities, weapons, and even stylish hats. The hats thing is kind of funny in this game. Some of the key focuses are 15 to 20 hours of playtime followed by a new game plus, strategy focused rather than chance. Procedurally generated levels, yes, so if you go back and play levels that you have already played, as you might see in-game, then the ship layouts are going to be completely different even though the mission is the same. Kinda newcomers, deep and challenging for veterans, and I can see why. Maybe you will too. Soundtrack is by steam-powered Giraffe, and there's a DLC to unlock the character you see in the middle, I think. I don't know. Anyways, maybe not. Maybe it's a little different character. Options menu for anyone who wanted to see it. Pretty normal. I think I have it balanced pretty well, hopefully. And I'm going to go ahead and start. I do have a profile that has 3.5 hours of playtime, but we will start a new game for the sake of this thing. And I'll do experienced. They want you to play on veteran. It's their favorite setting, but we are just playing on experienced for the sake of this video and easily not having to think much. The thing that changes is the earlier two stages of difficulty have a failure penalty of 0 and 25%, and then the standard is 50. And then you can see what happens there, just enemy damage and enemy health, and finally enemy numbers go way up. So does your bonus experience though, so the harder it is to play, the more you are rewarded. So if you're on Elite, you might be able to grind out some of those earlier missions and get more XP that way. But we are just selecting that, so whatever. So SteamWorld, oh, okay.
Notorious smuggler and occasional pirate is having a rough time. A brutal gang of thugs called Scrappers are spreading across our turf in the outskirts, stealing everything in sight. They have even been known to kidnap the locals. Their presence could draw unwanted attention from the Royal Space Force. In short, they are bad for business. Low on water, Piper and her mates have boarded a scrapper ship, aiming to relieve them of their ill-gotten cargo. And of course, it all went according to plan.
All according to plan, he says. So even though this is a just look at, I'm going to give you pure raw gameplay for the next little bit, maybe 1 to 2 missions, depending on how fast I can do these. And I'll explain along the way. We're not really going to read the story stuff. If you want that, you can go to an actual full-out Let's Play. Basically, Piper crash landed into the ship, and she's asking if they're alright. And now we need to get up there and help out. So this character is a female. I'm playing with a controller because the game suggests it. I haven't tried playing the keyboard and mouse. I know other people have, and they think it works at least fine. But since it was said to work with a keyboard or a controller, I'm doing that. Xbox 360 wired controller. So you can see here, it's kind of like XCOM in that you have a certain distance you can move. Left only this far, simply because there's a wall there, and right only this far, because there is a door there. But it wants us to go here. This is a tutorial for like all definitions. If we select the door, we can open it with the gearbox there. A whole cowbot down here, ain't I lucky? Whatever. Blah blah blah, they're getting sassy. So it has a cover system. If you move over right next to cover, you will automatically take cover. You can draw your gun when it's time to shoot. If you're shooting right next to cover, you can kind of see the cover grays out. You can actually shoot through the cover, but you have to be literally standing right next to it. And this gun specifically has a scope that allows, well, not a scope necessarily, but it shows you like where your trajectory is. So we could always do something stupid like, I don't know that. We could only hit it for 2 damage, but that'll give you a chance to see the cover system. So the cover takes damage, and it wants us to do this all over again. If we absolutely felt like it, we could shoot this guy's hat off, because this game is about hats. Not only do we shoot his hat off, but the ricochet actually killed him. And the gear shows us that we have something to loot. We actually just picked up his hat. You have a chance of picking up the hats that you shoot off if you don't already own the hat. Some hats are more common than others. So this game has turrets and a minimap. You can see the minimap shows the whole ship itself, shows you the rooms that you have yet to unenter, connected to the rooms that you have entered. And if being a tutorial, it wants us to do this. So the blue is dashing. It shows that I won't be able to fire by the gun with the thing, and it shows the defense symbol for being able to defend. Blah 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 wants us to use an ability. If I hit right trigger twice, or whatever attack button you have on the keyboard, I don't know, you'll switch over to your abilities. Use A to confirm and all that. But just because it's a tutorial, I don't care. I'm just going to bounce it off the wall using Power Shot, which does 1 additional damage. That's what the ability did, by the way. Since it's my next turn, I'm going to want to come up here and skip, if we're being intelligent about it. You want to open the door at the beginning of your turn, just to see. That way, if there's anything to shoot, it's not the end of your turn. So move next to the door, open the door because it's a free action. So Seabrass is our mate. Our other fellow shipmates were captured and scrapped by these douches. We'll just attack them. There's no reason to be weird. It kind of has like scope aiming, where the scope itself or the trajectory will kind of wiggle. You can see their hands moving up and down. And in this case right here, even though our hand is right in front of this guy's face, right next to the cover we had, like I said, the cover is grayed out if you compare it to the cover over here. And I can just shoot. And you can see he can shoot through the floors. You can shoot through these, but you can't shoot through these other floors. Obviously, it's a 2D game, it's a platformer kind of thing, so... And if you hit him just right, you can hit him right in the face. Sometimes it'll do critical depending on the weapons that you have. So even though we have a way out, we have a door that I have not opened. There's more things to fight in here. And you can see right here there is some loot, and that's what we're all for. He shot my hat off, so I'm going to be really irresponsible and go back and get it. That is not how you should play this game. We're just going to dash up here into this cover with Piper. That is going to take some damage, but it's not that big of a deal. We'll just wait for the thing to get in front of his face, try to adjust it ourselves a little bit. We do so little damage. Wow. I miss having an upgraded character. The next mission should go a little bit faster. We should be able to just breeze right through it. So this is looking like potentially a 20-minute episode. That was a critical right there. He died and all that jazz. So right trigger to go into the thing. Left trigger is to switch teammates depending on their skills. And you can see my health is 6 right below my name because I am damaged. You can also see that my total weapon damage is 4. Well, my total damage is 4. The weapon is 4. Yeah. So we're just going to dash up here to this loot. It's called swag, though. They actually called it swag. I might as well dash behind Piper. We just need to get to the extraction zone and end our turn, much like XCOM. And we'll dash into it, which should automatically end our turn. It will tell you that you've collected all the swag and that you can leave the mission. I like that heads up because if you haven't gotten all of the swag or loot that you wanted to get, then you can actually cancel the extraction and go back and get it. We'll talk about that little 500 up there at the top in a second. So we just got 133 of water out of that. A few swills of water, the essential resource for Steambots. It's your currency, basically. Different things will drop different qualities of loot. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's accessories, passives, stuff like that. Never hats, though. I've never gotten a hat out of a swag loot bag or crate that I know of. Monkey is our captain bot. I don't care about the story. You guys don't care about it either. I gave you a teaser if you want to know. Go watch somebody else. We need to find some more gallons, so we have to go down here to this mission. Right here is your briefing. The 2 little bot symbols up at the top means that you can take 2 crew members. And the symbol on the left is a special, like, star item that you have to pick up if you know, want things. And then 3 potential stars. So your objectives are collect swag and evacuate. I believe for doing both of those things you will get a star each, and then you have the loot itself, which counts for 1 star. Right here's your loadout. We don't have any extra guns, but you can see that the default is 2 damage, plus 2 critical. It says it has a laser sight long, so that's why I have the sight on that. And that the Seabrass has a shotgun. We also have a new hat here, but we don't want the swab hat. You just start it. Cannot sprint and shoot at the same turn, much like XCOM and other games that involve sprinting. So I'm just going to rush through this. Screw the story. So we can see by opening that door there's a dude here. There's no effective way of getting creative to get that kill. So I'm just going to dash over here. Seabrass can move straight up into this cover. And we will hopefully just shoot this guy in the face. And that will kill him. I'll get the loot with Seabrass. This guy's going to come straight up. He's going to miss because he's dumb. AI is not that great, but I think it's intentional. So no worries there. He might hit me through the floor. It's unlikely. Well, with that positioning, it's a lot more likely. But he still missed. Sometimes the sight isn't actually the most accurate thing in the world. It'll tell you one thing, and when you go to accept it, it will be something completely different. So that is something I would consider a bug. If it's going to be a sight, I think it should be completely accurate. We just got those 2 things of loot. I'm going to open the door anyways because I'm reckless and don't care. XP, as you may have saw, was split between, so you get an amount of XP depending on how much stuff you collect and for your objectives specifically. It's gonna dash down here even though there's a guy behind me. I have 8 health. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's actually going to shoot Piper anyways. Which is fine, because from here I can just shoot this guy in the face for a 4 critical. And I'll shoot this guy in his balls. That'll do total 4 damage. Left trigger to switch the person that I'm controlling. You can see our objective to collect swag is at 4 out of 5. I meant to move 1 tile further. I'm just going to split these guys up between the doors. I'm not going to open them this turn. Remember, opening doors is free. So that way, if there was more than one person, then we had the ability to hit them. I was hoping that would hit. It did not. Totally fine. We'll just do this and aim down. We're going to have to kill him with Piper, simply because he is in the spot that we actually want to stand on. So, boom, in the face. Seabrass will get it. Now that we have 5 out of 5 swag, it will show us where the extraction point is, which is right there. And we'll just sprint back. Should be able to get it this turn. Sprint Piper up as far as I can, just in case she has more movement than he does, which does not seem to be the case. And now that we're here, 100% swag collected. Board the ship. Board the escape pod to the ship. Finish mission, all that fun stuff. And then the ship moves on, and we have our loot screen. Like I said, this epic swag gives you +1 reputation. The reputation are the stars. Kind of like a mobile game, but definitely not a mobile game. So we got 153 water out of that. Epic swag contains a kerosene pistol, which is worth 125 if we sell it. See the damage 3 to 4 and critical +1. Technically better than the pistol I have now. It just does not have a laser sight, so I won't be using it. On Piper, that is, since she's a sharpshooter. Swag bags, just open them all. They're all loot bags. Sometimes they can contain more than water though, so it's fine. You can see our total was 3 stars. Objective was worth 90 experience. Swag was worth 30. And blah blah blah. But the total was then divided up equally between all the people that we took on the mission. So keep that in mind if you have large missions. Also, you are penalized for having people die. And they get rebuilt at the ship for some amount of money, I think, if you completely lose. So you don't game over. Not like permadeath. That I know of. I'm assuming if you run out of water, then you will game over. So we got those things. I think Piper was just +1 health if I was paying any attention. And Seabrass gets payback, so he does 2 additional damage anytime he is attacked. So on his next turn, his next shot, it doesn't even have to be his next turn, just whenever he shoots again, he will have the payback buff. It's better to shoot each turn just in case he gets hit again. That way you're not taking extra damage for only the single use of +2 bonus damage. So yeah, 132 and divided in half is 66, and that was 66 to each crewmate. But that is the gist of this game. I have no idea how many FPS this game runs in. I'm recording it in 30 for whatever reason on accident. And it's not in the 30 FPS curation group as far as I can tell. So it could very well play in 60 or higher. But yet again, that is going to be SteamWorld Heist. If you'd like to see more of this game, leave a like to let me know, or just let me know directly in the comment section below. After you do missions, you can talk to people and stuff. There is selling the inventory. Like, if I got an item, since I'm not going to use this, I can just hit X to sell for the 125 value, and there, it's gone. You can also see your crew. There are health, movement tiles, or whatever. Their weapon damage and their melee damage. Melee is a thing if you're exactly 1 tile next to somebody. You will be forced into melee. You cannot use your weapon. You have to be separated by, like that cover that I showed, or just 1 empty space. Plenty of variety in guns. Plenty of stuff. There's guns that do AoE. Sniper rifles with long range. A bunch of randomized loot. Not randomized necessarily. It's just the loot is random, but You'll see a lot of the guns and a lot of accessories the same. But yeah, that is going to do it for SteamWorld Heist. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay positive, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.